So, my friends, I hope you enjoyed the story and I hope you weren't too bothered by my cat laying right down in the middle of our book. So, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about what our activity is going to be for our Crispy and Ellsberg books because I like to always try to do one big activity with those. So, since the theme of our book Jumanji was about playing a game, what I'm going to have you start working on today, and Miss Kirsha is going to actually bring you a piece of paper. Yours is going to be bigger than mine. Is I'm going to have you start creating your own board game. So here's a couple of things I want you to keep in mind. One, we are making it at school, so of course it does have to be school appropriate. So if you're thinking about something that you would not be able to either play, bring, or use in school, then it probably should not be the theme of your game. Okay, so that's one thing that we always are going to have to keep in mind. Two, that you are going to take this home and you're going to play it with your families. So family appropriate as well. So if it's going to be something that if you show it to mom or dad or your family or whomever you're playing with and they are not happy about that, then you definitely don't want to make that choice. So basically what I want you to do is you can come up with anything that you're interested in. Over the past couple of years of us doing this, we have had sports games, we've had hockey games, we have had shopping games, we've had baking games, we've had zoo games, we've had amusement park games, we've had games about going to the mall or games about art. So they have been about a whole variety of different things. So whatever you decide that your theme of your game is going to be, then I want you to start kind of thinking and brainstorming, okay, so what are some activities that go along with the theme of my game? So for example, if you were doing, let's just say you were taking care of your pets, okay? And I will just use my dog as an example. So if I decided I was going to call my game Dog World, and like maybe some of the positive things is, in my game would be, my dog sat when I told her to, or my dog didn't bark at the neighbors, or my dog didn't chase the squirrel in our yard. Those could be positive things. And maybe if I landed on a square like that, I could get to move ahead a couple of squares or get an extra turn. But if my dog ran away, then that would be something that would be a negative in my game, and that maybe I would lose a turn or have to move back so many spaces. Okay. So that's kind of what you want to do, because remember, most of games that are fun to play have some different activities, some that kind of could move you ahead and then some that sometimes move you back. And we don't always like those ones quite so well. You do not need to have an activity in every one of the squares that you create in your game. And what you're going to want to do with your game board is you can do it a couple of different ways. You could make it kind of like a curvy path, like maybe if you were playing, a game like Chutes and Ladders, or it could just be something simple, like almost like a Monopoly game where it just runs along the outside of your game board. And you're going to want to have some blank spaces. So don't make yourself crazy trying to think of all the different, filling every square up with something, because some of them could just have pictures or illustrations. Like, for example, when we had the hockey game a couple of years ago, the boy that did it and created it, in the spaces that were empty spaces, he drew a different player's jersey. Or for example, one of the games I think that was about baking, one would be a cookie, one would be a cupcake. So, kind of like base your theme on what you're interested in and what you want your game to be about. Now, one of the things you're not going to have to do is you will not have to create game pieces or dice or anything like that. If you decide that you want to do that at home, you certainly can. But what we've done in the past is when we want to play those games, usually I just ask the students to borrow some game pieces from another game that you might have at home, like, Sorry or Monopoly or, I can't think of the one that I'm thinking about. Oh, good. It'll come back to me. But any of them that have the typical little game pieces, you can just borrow those. And then obviously you're going to want to put those back once you're done playing with them. And I thought it would be fun, since we can't actually play our games together this year because of COVID, that maybe we would be able to just do a family game night, and you would have to get to pick a night with your families where you guys were going to play and enjoy your game. So in the time that you have left today, even if you don't draw anything, I'd like you to put your name on the piece of paper that you get. And then if you're a 4-day friend, you're going to want to keep that in your desk. If you're a group friend, when you go home tonight, you might want to fold that paper and then put it inside your take-home folder, because you're going to need that when I see you. When Miss Kirsch is back with you tomorrow. And if you're a fully remote student or you're in B group, I can either give you a piece of paper if you're in B group, or if you're a fully remote student, I'm going to see if you can find something at home. If you can't, then I can make arrangements to try to get you a larger piece of paper. Okay. So in the time that you have left, you can go ahead and start brainstorming and getting some ideas about your game. And then if you want to actually start designing your game board, you can do that. I would do pencil first though, just in case you make a mistake and you need to erase. Okay, so enjoy your game boards, and I will be back with you on video tomorrow to give you some more instructions and to do our second book. So have a good rest of your day, guys. Bye.